My name is Grant Dawson. My record is 15-1, and I fight for Glory MMA and Fitness. I was homeschooled for a lot of my life, and then I got into public school when I hit high school and started doing sports in high school. Once I graduated high school, I moved to a bigger town to start doing MMA. I started training MMA when I was 15, just like in the backyard with my friends, watching the YouTube videos, doing all that kind of stuff. And we did backyard fights. Every Tuesday night I was 22-0 in the backyard, had a duct tape belt and the whole 9 yards. My friends eventually wanted to stop doing it, so I decided I needed to go to an actual gym. Went to an actual gym, started training for about a year. After a year of training, my coach came to me and said, "Hey, do you want to fight?" I said yes. We had that fight, and it's been smooth sailing ever since. About to make my pro debut, and my manager at the time called me and said, "Hey, after this fight, would you like to move up to Lee Summit, Missouri and train with James Krause in a fighter house?" So I got in my car, I came up here just to kind of check it out for a week. I was here for, I think, 2 days, decided I loved it, went back, won my fight, came here, and I've been here under James ever since.
What's a fighter house?
A fighter house is basically when you have a house and a bunch of guys from out of town come and stay there, whether they move there or they're just staying there for their camps. We're all into one house. We had a 3-bedroom house with 12 people in it. I slept under a pool table for my first month of training here, but it was all worth it. One of my teammates actually was going to be on the Contender Series, and that's how I heard about it at first. I was like, what is it? Like, is it like Dana White looking for a fight? And they were like, yeah, it is, but it's one place. It's their show. It's not like a show that Dana goes to. And if he likes you, he gives you a contract. If he doesn't like you, you're gone. And my teammate ended up getting injured and not being able to compete on it, but that's how I heard about it. And then the next season came along, and it was such a blast, you know. So many fighters got signed. We knew that was going to be a viable option. Ended up getting the call to take a short notice replacement on the Contender Series, made weight in 3 weeks, fought, won, got the contract.
Yeah. Did you feel confident after the win that the contract was in the bag?
Yeah, I feel like my performance, I landed the most punches out of everybody. And I was like one of 2 finishes. You know, there were 5 fights on the card and 2 finishes, and I was the only other finish. So I was pretty confident that I was going to get the nod. You know, I wasn't very nervous for my first UFC fight. I was fighting a guy coming off of 2 losses. I really felt like I was the better fighter, and it ended up being the toughest fight that I've had in the UFC or at all. You know, Julian is a really, really tough guy. He doesn't get tired. He doesn't get discouraged. He's got good jiu-jitsu and good boxing. So it actually ended up being a much tougher fight than I thought it was going to be, and to this day, it's still one of my toughest fights in my whole career.